If you have a fear of missing out, understand that everything you want can always be achieved through other means. See, I've only been in New York one time, and it was in the airport. And I went to the Dominican Republic for a mission trip, 1 week vacation over spring break, and I stayed there. But we had a crazy layover, crazy amount of time we had to stay in the Dominican Republic airport because flights got delayed, etc., etc. But I saw this one girl that was pretty attractive, and she was just reading a book, and I was like Kobe walking up and down the court, like hyping myself up. I was walking around the area where she was reading. Maybe I looked a little weird, but I was like psyching myself up to talk to this girl. And what I did is I finally went up to her. I was like, "Hey, what are you reading?" And she said, "Oh, I'm just reading some Spanish literature." This girl she wasn't on the trip. I was on the trip with a lot of my people I went to church with, and this was just some random girl that just happened to speak English in the Dominican Republic airport. And yeah, she was reading Spanish literature. Thought it was interesting. I asked about her, asked where she was from, etc., etc. And she started saying some things that I had never really heard before. I think one of the biggest things I heard her say was booze cruising. Now, some people may know what booze cruising is, but at the time, I had no idea what it was. So she said it, and I asked her what she was doing in the Dominican Republic, and she was like, "Oh, I was just with some friends booze cruising." So I just kind of asked, "Oh, I've never heard of that. What is that? Enlighten me." And to some people, that may feel like, you should never say that. You can feel like a loser. You can feel like you don't know anything, but I didn't see it as that. I saw it as me simply learning more about this person or hearing more about a word I've never heard before. And yeah, her and her friends around her kind of chuckled a little bit, and they told me that it was just simply going out and have a little fun. But then I went back to the people I went to church with, and I told them that I talked to the girl, and they said, "Dodo, what are you doing? You don't know what booze cruising is?" And so many parts of me wanted to sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. I should have known what that was. She's going to think I'm a weirdo." But I honestly didn't feel like that at all. I didn't feel like these people were any better than me just because they knew something or did something I didn't. See, I don't want you to ever feel like just because somebody is doing something that you're less than them. See, all throughout my life, I've seen drugs and alcohol be a bad thing. Yet when I get older in my later teenage years and early 20s, I see so many people doing it regardless. It really messes with my brain to hear all these things or people saying, "Don't do drugs, don't do alcohol." And I see all these people my age and some of my closest friends just falling into this. And it makes me think like maybe those people that taught me these things, those older people growing up, they were wrong. And I'm going to be outcasted. I'm going to be weird. I'm going to be strange to all my friends or people the same age as me because I'm not drinking or smoking or doing anything else. But what I've done to alleviate some of that, stress that comes with a fear of missing out is building myself in different areas. A lot of people say that you need to drink or you need to do drugs or you need to do these things to get in a certain mindset. See, when people are at parties, people say that they need to drink in order to have more confidence to go up to people. And I saw that as almost a challenge. See, I want to show these people that I don't need alcohol to be confident. See, I can build my confidence by simply meeting more people and being myself and understanding that I have some things that people want, I have some things that people don't want in a person, and I can go on about my day. There's going to be people who love me the way I am, and I can be confident in that. See, the fear of missing out, I've always resented it. I've seen some of my best friends simply, honestly, tear their lives apart by having a fear of missing out. They've jumped on decisions that they maybe shouldn't have made. They've went to schools. They've even met or gotten relationships with some people because they have a fear of missing out. See, people ruin their lives from this constant fear of not being like everyone else. But the truth is, you have to understand your value and your worth as an individual. And you understand that all those things people think they can gain from drugs and alcohol and all these other things, you can gain that yourself. All it takes is experience and a motivation to just build yourself. See, I've experienced plenty of highs, but it's not highs from smoking weed. I experienced plenty of highs from simply doing great things in my life. I experienced highs from making people feel better about themselves, comforting people when they feel awful. I've made myself feel better, when I've just had the worst thing ever happen to me and I remember something that can take me away from the fact that that was the worst thing ever. Or I've maybe done a workout that maybe gave me pain like never before and I felt like I was on another universe, but I was proud of myself. All those emotions and the things that I feel are things I created myself with my own hands. I don't want you to ever feel like you have to have a fear of missing out. Or if you do have a fear of missing out and you want to get rid of it, just remember that all these things that you want from the things other people are doing, all this gain you think people get from smoking or drinking or having all this money or going these places you know that they shouldn't be going or doing these things you know that you shouldn't be doing, don't feel like you need to do those things because you're a unique and beautiful person. And honestly, it's taken me years to realize that I'm a unique and beautiful person. But every area that I want to add to by doing these things other people do, whether it's sex, money, drugs, I can get what I need. Maybe not what I want, but I can get what I need to satisfy myself to not want sex, money, and drugs. See, I've understood that guys a lot of the time, and I can only speak for guys, maybe girls are the same, but oftentimes people say how they want sex so much. They want sex. They can't live without sex. They want to lose their V card or whatever it may be. But the truth is, they're just lonely. It was pornography or anything like that. Like, you're just lonely. You need connection from people. And I've found, even in my own life, that these urges to, watch pornography or have sex all the time, they go away when I simply realize that human connection is all I need. When I'm around my family or my brothers or my close friends, those urges kind of just go away because I'm occupying my mind with the connection of other people. I don't need to have the false connection of masturbation or sex or anything. Things that I can just throw away. Because these things can have so much more value to your life if you do them at the right time. See, I don't see anything wrong with alcohol in extreme moderation. You can have a glass of wine. Maybe a glass of wine can truly just make your night great. Maybe you're having a glass of wine with your wife one night and you're just proud of yourself. But getting drunk is another thing. Maybe you feel like you need to get drunk because people are having so much confidence boost and all these other things. Or you feel like people like having extreme, releases of emotion because they're doing these drugs or they're high off these things. But you can have all these things as long as you build yourself. The feeling you want from drinking that alcohol, doing that drug, having that sexual act, it's found in other things. And sometimes it takes searching and digging through sand and dirt and all these things you don't want to do to get to those things, but I promise you it's so much more fulfilling. It's so much more fulfilling when you're able to do a workout or do anything and get the same high. It's sometimes even a better high than doing any drug. It's like people saying working out is a drug because it's addicting. When you see your progress and your results and how you're building yourself, don't ever think you have to be someone else, or you have to be in the same situation as someone, or you have to be doing what they're doing to getting the same feeling that they're getting. And honestly, maybe your high is filming videos like I am, making podcasts, or having people listen to you and letting people contact you and say, hey, dude, you're helping me so much. I get a high from that. Maybe it's having a hug from one of your best friends or one of your family members. Maybe it's getting kissed by your girlfriend or kissed on your forehead by your mom. Those feelings can be achieved. And it doesn't have to be through drugs or alcohol or anything that you feel like you have to have. The feelings that you want, you can get them. But it doesn't always have to be a cookie cutter way. Alcohol and drugs doesn't have to be the only way you can experience the best feeling of your life. Sometimes you just need a video like this to remind you. So I hope you ever learned something from this video. Hope you're able to stop having a fear of missing out. Like I've been working on these past couple years. My fear of missing out has honestly gone down and down because I realized that I can build myself and have those feelings that I think other people have. Alcohol and drugs or anything else you can think of that I didn't name isn't always the way things need to be done. Understand that you're in control. Don't let anything else control you like fear, and especially the fear of missing out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you have a blessed day.